What's up, y'all? Welcome back. A little change of scenery today. Well, probably moving forward for the rest of the year, maybe into a little bit of January. But hope everybody's weekend was great and such. It's been really good for mine, and very busy one at that. But finally getting a chance to make this video and come out and talk about how DEKA ended up being. Which, as you can see there, ended up focuses. Yeah, ended up getting 1935 on my solo DEKA. And I said before in my videos that I was hoping at a minimum to do at least like 35 minutes. Or I guess just being the fact, I probably put too high of a number, honestly. And I guess it was just the fact of doubting myself. And with that, I think it's just going off of, doing two duos before, and both times basically being in about the 1430 to 1450 range in that area. But I think I was kind of getting like in my own head, which I always say, just with anything, just to do it, don't overthink it. But yeah, I would say that I was just getting in my head, and so I put this high number onto it, and just not really knowing, especially not training at all. And I think this made me realize truly with all this that when it comes to that, you don't have to, with a lot of stuff, just in general, like it doesn't mean you always have to train for things and work super hard to get like a number that really you can achieve. Like just showing that there, like I shocked myself by the time I was done. Like walking in there, we'd gone to the same gym that we had the deck at. We went to the Christmas party the night before, and ended up staying only till about 10:30. I didn't think it went on late anyways, but it started at 8, stayed there till about 10:30. It was decent time, nothing too crazy, but yeah, I mean, did that. We left out, went and went back to Steph's parents' house to pick up June. Sorry, got the dog here. And yeah, I mean, basically ended up going home and didn't get very great sleep, actually. Woke up around a little after 7, and they had told us the night before, they're like, oh, like your waves 9 to 9:30, like get there early, like we're going to be getting them out like faster. And I just didn't think that was going to happen, especially for how many it sounded like there was going to be going on with it. And so we arrived about 8:20, and I would say maybe a lot of people, other people that we know, I mean, first time doing it and such, but just the it was like the air was very serious, and it was something where I had been thinking a lot and overthinking on it in my mind, and which I didn't need to, because no matter what, even without the training and everything and all that, I mean, just was going to do the best I can. Nobody else really mattered, honestly. Like, yeah, we were there to support each other, and it was super cool to see this event occurring at our gym. But yeah, when it finally rolled around to make it happen, jumped on, did reverse lunges, and one of the ladies actually that works out at the gym, she was a volunteer, and she was doing my timing. And it's so funny because being the way it was at our gym, everything was a lot more condensed compared to normal, at least the other 2 times I've done it, where you have a little bit more spacing between things. But overall, it's still no different than what they normally have. They had, laminated sheets, and it would say like what the movement was, and then, how many like reps you had to do. And it was funny. So the initial one is going to be the reverse lunges, and there's 30 of those. That's where 30. That's where I made the mistake of initially. I started working on that and going at it, and I hit 20. And I started walking over I went over and started setting up on the rower. And then, she didn't really catch me before, and which again, I don't hold it against her. It was her first time doing volunteering for this. But yeah, she's like, oh, you still got, it's 30, like you have 10 more. And I was like, oh, shoot. So hurry up and jumped off that, went back over, completed the 10 lunges, which that for men is you have a ram, which is basically, if you don't know what a ram is more or less, think of it like a foam roller, but a very heavy one, or depending upon the weight that you're doing. But for men, it's 55 pounds, and you can either do over the shoulder, so like you'd have it like flat against this one, either side, or you can do like backpack, which is how I like to do, just because to me, like it's even on your back and everything. And, you know, you're just dropping down, got to have your knee touch behind like a red line, and then, you know, stand back up fully and yeah, move on. So going back, did the 10 of those. She told me at the end that had lost me about 5 seconds, and jumped down the rower, and that felt really good. I was just kind of like, overall in my mind, I think by the time I actually started going into it, was just keeping a steady pace and just nothing too crazy where I'm exerting, you know, a ton of energy, because I knew going further into it and some of the other movements that was going to really gas me out. But yeah, I mean, did the rower, did that well, hopped off, moved over to the my part that I'm very uncoordinated on, not that great at, but did box step overs, and that's 20 of those. I mean, a rower was 500 meters. That usually takes about a good 2 minutes and something. Basically everything on average takes about 2 minutes for, you know, if you're pretty well off in terms of having like your cardio down, strength and everything. I'd say it's about an average thing for the 10 movements. Moved over the box step overs, and then from there went to farmer's carry, and that, by the time I got done finishing it up, I can't think right now, but I think men's is 55, maybe 60 pounds altogether. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, just the distance traveling back and forth. And again, being like a smaller setup, you know, by the time I got down to the last couple of laps, I was kind of gassed myself out, like my shoulders. I didn't stop at all or anything. Finished that up. And then I even had moments. I think that was a moment there where, you know, I might be getting my brain mixed up on this right now, because I can't remember if it went from box step overs to, yeah, it was farmer's carry. From farmer's carry went to skier. Yeah, the skier. So the skier was 500 meters. But yeah, on the farmer's carry, I had a moment where just trying to make sure I was staying in line with myself, that I know I was walking and carrying some heavy weights, but I kind of just closed my eyes at points, just kind of walking straight and focus on my breathing and just tell myself like, hey, everything's all good. You know, it's going to be fine. So that was something where going over to the skier, started going at it. And it's funny, I didn't realize until Steph said something later on, because she got a few videos of me, you'll see in this, but she's like, you're going to be mad at yourself about the skier. And for that, like, I was only using my arms, which is weird. Instead of, if you don't know what a skier is, you know, it's like you're almost like skiing, but you pull down like on these handles and it's got ropes attached, and there's different resistance levels. But yeah, I mean, basically I was just pulling like straight down, like with my arms, like using all upper body, when really it should be like pulling down, doing like a squat and then coming back up. But yeah, that one took a bit. But my judge, I mean, she was awesome, really doing a great job of motivating. And, you know, she had it down where she's like, you got 40% and you got 60% to complete it and all this. And actually, she's like, she even told me in the beginning part at one point, 2 in, she's like, if you don't want me talking to you, hey, sorry, dog's chewing up things. She doesn't have to be in the crate, but I don't know why she is. But hey, Sonny, come on. But yeah, I mean, yeah, she's like, if you don't want me to like talk to you or try to motivate you or anything, just tell me shut up now. And I was like, no, you're good. I don't mind it. I like it. And even though I was trying to keep in my own world, it did help actually, like kind of hearing certain numbers, or she was pushing me. But yeah, I got done with skier, moved on from there to, see, I might get that mixed up. I'm trying to remember now. Either which way. There's 10 movements, but I know it was it should have been, I think, bike after that. Or no, sorry, sit-ups. I forgot about those. Which those, I mean, the ball is really not that heavy at all, the medicine ball, and then doing, I think it's 20 or 30 sit-ups. I don't know, I just even doing this 3 times now, I can't remember the exact number. But those aren't bad. It's just, it was different this time compared to the other gym that I've done it at twice, where you could like lock your heels in and then hit your sit-ups, you know, going fully. That's not bad. And then moved on to the bike. So that's 25 calories, and their air bike's a little bit different than what the gym's is, but it was still, that took a while. And yeah, so that was another area where, yeah, just sitting there, I was just kind of going like moderate on it, nothing too crazy or anything. And yeah, I mean, I just ended up, like I do with a lot of things, I could do like skier, and if I'm doing like the rower and such, you know, I don't try to look at like the screen, because I think that kind of gets into your head. Maybe I'm different compared to everybody, but with the bike, you know, I kind of just started going at it, put my head down, and was just pedaling. She was sitting there and she was being motivational. Sonny, she's being motivational, and she's like, look at yourself in the mirror, like you got great form and stuff. And like in the moment, like it was kind of funny to me because I'm on a bike. Like, obviously, you can really only do so much in terms of your form and all. But yeah, it was still, yeah, it was great. I mean, I think I got some laughable moments even in there where, yeah, it was just, I don't know, again, just working at it. And once got done with the bike, then see if I know I'm getting this mixed up for sure. But let's see, we had to go to the tank, right? No, so ball overs. Yeah. So he had to do ball overs. So he had like a medicine ball that was a pretty fair amount of weight. I think 60 pounds, which I know sounds like a lot. Women's, I think it's 40, but really it's not that bad. You squat down, grab the ball, and what you do is you like throw it over your shoulder. So you basically like this, and then you kind of step back. So you're like right on top of it again. Do the same thing. I forget Sunny right now. She's got her own little jolly ball, but obviously it's bigger than this, heavier too. But yeah, I mean, did that. That's when I started kind of feeling the, losing the energy part and such. And, but got it done, moved on to the tank, and it was different than the other one because this one only had 3 wheels and compared to the other one that had 4. But yeah, it was a good drive to push that down and back. I forget, I think that was 8 times more or less between back and forth. You had to get it down, and men have a different resistance than women. But yeah, got that done, and then once the tank was done, went to my least favorite part, and that would be the burpees at the end. So 20 of those, and men it's 45 again with a ram. So more or less, when it comes to that, you got to, you got the floor. You have to drop that ram down the floor, have your chest hit that ram. Obviously, your body's like flat, and then you're going to come up, stand up, and from there, you got to do full extension above the head. And that's something that changed not too long ago. I think within the past year, where it used to be just above the head extended, but now it's all the way above. So yeah, I did do 20 of those, and I started off doing pretty well. And as I started hitting 8, I could definitely feel the energy wearing out of me and trying to focus on the breathing and all. But yeah, I mean, when I hit 10, that's when it was really, getting to me. I'll say even actually, I forgot that when I hit the tank, I forget how many in, but I really started having like dry mouth, like cotton mouth, basically, where I was like, oh shoot, just wanting some water. And some people normally when you do these, I don't know if it's a rule actually, but from what I've been told, you're not allowed to bring water out there or anything. And so even though it was our gym, and some people did end up like they would walk away real quick, or if they were doing duos, but they would like walk over to the side and get a drink of water, but didn't at all. And yeah, even though I did take electrolytes, I drank those before going in and had some carbs and such to fuel me up. But yeah, I mean, ended up pushing through obviously the burpees, and she had my card, and she, like when I saw 1935, I was shocked. I mean, I didn't expect that at all. It was just wild to like kind of think that literally something, haven't been training much at all and barely been working out, and yet here I go and do this. And so I think that's where it really is. We've talked about it before, but just like it's kind of like the 21K for the Spartan and doing the 10 afterwards. It makes you wonder. It's like we really do. Like we love to keep active and busy and everything, and usually, would go, to the gym 6 days a week. But this is something where it's like, I don't know, we just started thinking more of, do we need to be doing as much as what we are, and pushing our bodies where, we don't have to be always going to the gym and doing the HIIT type workouts or doing strength and such and working out 6 days a week. So it could be things that you like walking and all. But yeah, with that, I mean, that's really, I think what this video is I'm trying to say is don't over push yourself. Like, I think that's the thing that really kind of can bring down a lot of people, and everybody's different, of course, too. I think no matter what, I do love to keep active, and I know we both do, Steph and I, but this just shows right here that, man, you can make it happen. Everything's always going to be that mindset. Like, that's all it is. It doesn't have to be everything built on what you're trying to achieve, from working out and all that such. Sorry, Sonny's just tearing up this ball. But yeah, I mean, it was awesome. And I truly did not expect either. They ended up setting up after singles was done. They set up a little like award area and put out some boxes for us to like stand on like a little podium, and I ended up getting third for male like overall like singles, and that was just, you know, in general, again, as I always say, like I don't care about taking medals or anything, and so I didn't, like my stepdaughter, I ended up giving her like the medal, like the DEKA medal, and then they had like one for third place, but gave her those. But yeah, that was kind of surprising to me. And the first place guy ended up leading out before any of that. He did awesome, crushed it. And then a guy, Robert, we love working out with, he took second. But yeah, I mean, you just always got to believe in yourself and anything's possible. Just, I think overdoing it can hinder you from your, growing up more or gaining that balance or what you want to achieve. Sorry, my words are not always the best. I'm sure you could tell by now. But I know, by the time they were working on finishing up singles, that there had a guy, the guys that run it actually like do the roadshow DEKAs. Like they had a guy that specifically trains at a gym that's all they do is DEKAs. And so he came in, and just like before, I've seen there's many guys that they don't wear a shirt, and he was in there and he had a heart band monitor on. It's like, oh shoot, when somebody like that comes in and no shirt and everything, he looks very in shape and such. Expect him to crush it. Like initially watching him, it's like, whew, he's gonna smoke it. He's gonna do. I was talking to somebody like, man, we're talking, I don't know, 12 minutes or something or whatever. And I don't know what he exactly got first time. I can't remember if somebody told me. But yeah, I mean, he didn't even end up placing. And it's just, again, maybe it's because he does too much. Maybe he was overthinking. We all have those days as well. That's the thing, is we never really know like what's going to be happening. But yeah. And so we got finished up and been hanging around, and it's funny, they ended up doing changeover for the duos, and they had a whole new like volunteer set for that one, and then more people started arriving for the duos, just from different gyms, different ISIs, wherever else. And honestly, like that air, like the vibe and everything compared to solos was a totally different thing. And I think, yeah, with that, even though it could be very nervous, just like we were before doing ours, but it was just, maybe because it was going to be like 11 o'clock or something in that range. By the time they went through, the guy demonstrating all the movements and then explaining to the volunteers, like, hey, this is what needs to be, how it needs to be judged and what's allowed, etc. But, sorry, the dog is just nonstop. And she's always eating this rubber ball, and it shouldn't be. But, yeah, just kind of, that air was just incredible. And I was just like, man, by the time my body was fully back to being ready to go and such, I was like, man, I want to go out there. I want to do duos. And people kept on saying like, oh, Steph, you gotta do one with Steph. And I was like, nope, she's saying she's retired and done with it. And it stunk. We had a very busy day ahead after that. I mean, could have stayed longer. It would have been nice. We were just enjoying people's company, watching people, work their butts off to achieve what they wanted to. And it was really cool. But we left out of there. We had a birthday party to go to, and then a Christmas parade. And it was just a super long day, but overall really good. And yeah, I mean, like I would say to anybody, truly, I want you to go out there, push yourself, challenge yourself, even if it's not a DEKA roadshow or anything, which, I hope, from what our gym manager was saying, is that hopefully within a couple of months we'll get another one set up, and I really hope they do, because I told Steph that we're doing duos again. We're going to beat our time of, it was like 14:30 or something like that, but we're going to go out there and hopefully get in the mid-13s or so, switch up our idea or what we're going to do for our actual how we'll do our movements together and everything. Before, it was just a lot of me doing the stuff. But it was fun. It was just learning lessons, and yeah, we'll change it up. But that's what I would say to you. Just try to find something. It doesn't have to be DEKA. I don't know. I mean, whether it be a Spartan, there's all kinds of things out there I know in terms of challenges and anything that can help push each other. And it doesn't have to be fitness either. I mean, I was wearing from the one group I like, and Yes Theory, that's on YouTube, is they're called, their little motto is always seek discomfort. So I had my hoodie on that day with seek discomfort on it. And that's something that I always try to like preach out there. And I'm trying to push myself to do more things. And that's the same thing I want you to do for yourself. But yeah, this is a longer one this time, and very, I don't know, I'm still on like kind of a high from that. It's been a long day as well. But yeah, I mean, I appreciate you truly being here, and hopefully this is something that can help you get out there, try to achieve your best, and I know you can do it. We all can, and appreciate you. Have a great Monday. We'll see you on the next one.